Fight Show, episode 23, live on the interwebs, presented by Pull No Punches Apparel, 717 Surplus, and our friends over at Canadips. And I know the code's wrong on the bottom, but we're going to get to that in a second. But Canadips.com, code Fight Show for 20% off your order. It's a no nicotine CBD pouch. But down at the bottom, you see noseslap.com. They were on the show last week. If you caught the show last week, it's Bill's new favorite substance.
I dig it.
Do you pour it in your beer? Like, do you salt your beer with it and then?
It just makes me breathe, man. I like it. Now,
Bill's been using Nose Slap solid for a week.
Once it started losing a little bit of potency, I was like, I wonder if I rub this on the inside of my nostril. I wonder if it would work. You know, my friends at work are all like, "What the hell are you doing, man? Like, are you going to pass the drug test if you get one?" Yeah, I will. Oh man.
Yeah, so it's cool. You've seen smelling salts on Rogan. You've seen smelling salts. You've seen your favorite celebrity on the internet doing smelling salts or whatever. It's the new thing here.
I like it.
Christy said, "Don't give you any ideas." But yeah, go to noslap.com, code Fight Show, 20% off your order. Bill endorsed by former professional referee and professional fighter, Bill Bookwalter. So what's up, man?
Nothing. Perry's out with the old in with the new man, Volkanovski. I was pulling for him, man, hardcore. Like I remember a time in mixed martial arts where it felt like Chuck Liddell and certain guys were unbeatable, and then we hit this with stretch with Adesanya, Usman, and Volkanovski, and for a couple of years I was convinced they were unbeatable. Now it looks like new era's taking over, man. Topuria looks sharp, dude. He looked real sharp. And I know Volkanovski's saying he wants a rematch, but I don't know, man. He looks levels above Volkanovski at this point. Maybe not the Volkanovski of old, but
scary sharp.
He's good.
I mean, you basically took Volk and backed him into a corner, and then
yeah.
And that's what he was also exiting real high. Like his chin was real high coming out.
You remember
literally one of them things where they called it on the broadcast. Like I kind of saw it, but I'm like, okay, maybe it's just like the camera angle.
Mm-hmm.
And then they called it, and then.
Yeah, you remember there was there was a time Adesanya, Usman, Volkanovski. We had these champions that seemed unbeatable, and my God, how the landscape has changed. We have some new eras taking over. The Topurias, the Dricus Duplessis. You got these new champions taking over, and it's like, holy cow,
It's keeping everybody. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it gets a little stagnant.
Well, when somebody's dominant for so long, yeah, a little bit, but then my God, the whole landscape changes.
Well, no, and then that's the exciting part. If somebody's dominant for so long, like in this, there was some debate going back and forth because of course, everybody's name is coming out of everybody's mouth now, and
you got to play the marketing game.
Once you clear your division decisively, then if you're 45, you want to go fight to 55, or you're training for a fight and your opponent drops out and he's training for something goes on, then maybe you can do it in the middle. But let's clear some. These guys are, and to say this, we're talking about Ilia Topuria, like looked crisp. And if you look at like O'Malley came on the scene with a lack of Connor. So O'Malley came on the scene and he kind of bumped up a few levels promotion wise. Ilia just bypassed, like, and again, this is the ceiling. And this is not taking anything away from what Sean O'Malley's done, but the ceiling right now for Ilia and the ceiling for Topuria is just a bit higher.
I'll tell you what, yeah. Think about how the grand landscape of mixed martial arts is getting ready to change. We're going to lose John Jones soon.
Yeah,
I don't think we'll see him fight another 3 times. Depending what happens versus Aspinall or whatever. Who else? Conor McGregor. My God, I don't know if he's ever going to get back in there. Man, he talks a good game.
If he don't get back in there, Chandler's going to have a full fucking meltdown. And all respect to Chandler because he's a hustler. He's got businesses on the side. The guy's got multiple revenue streams. He's out here hustling and working and staying in shape and doing what he needs to do, like the consummate professional he has been.
Yeah. Well, it's like, McGregor, can you take anything he says seriously anymore? The guy just talks about fighting and fighting and fighting, and he just never makes a move to announce a date, or there's just nothing, And then Volkanovski, Gaethje, and Holloway aren't far off. They're only another couple years to go yet, from what we know them to be. I don't think anybody wants to see a Max Holloway fighting Journeyman if he's been at the top for so long. And if he's not in the title mix or fighting for titles, I don't really even think he'd want to do it.
I don't.
So, I mean, the landscape is getting ready to change here in the next year or two, man. A new wave is coming in, so a lot of stars up and coming and stuff, and
it's the same old.
I guess that's why we love it, right? The story is always changing.
It's why I learned a long time ago. If you don't, there's points in time where everybody's lost. Like that's why it's so important to make sure you're following these regional guys and following looking for the content, looking on the UFC Fight Pass or going to your local shows and finding the Joe Pfeiffers and the guys on the come up. And I mean, you look at, and I was going to touch on this later, but look at T City, Brian Ortega.
Yeah.
Like I have this. And we'll throw it up here.
What's he up to?
Brian Ortega. I just want you to look at this, bro. Now, again, he's a little bit long in the tooth. Brian Ortega's been fighting pro since 2010.
Okay.
And it's nothing but green, bro. And if you look at some of the names, Diego Brandao back in 2014, beat him twice back 14 and 16. Clay Guida, Moicano when he was coming up through in 17. Cub Swanson back in 2017. Frankie Edgar in 2018. Of course, he had the doctor stoppage with Max with the shoulder. Chang Sung Jung back in 2020, or Chan Sung Jung, I'm sorry. That's if he was 14-1 when they fought. Canceled bout with Volk, and then he had another. So he's had some trials and tribulations, and he's coming back off 2 out of his last 3 being losses, but they were to Yair Rodriguez and Alexander Volkanovski. And I was going to get to this when we went to the Mexico card, but did you know, a little interesting tidbit I picked up during this week, this card stacked both the main and the co-main are a rebook because the fight ended in an injury. The first time Roy Val and Moreno fought, Roy Val was fighting through. There was some injury. I forget what it was at this point, but so I think that's kind of cool. They're getting their get backs on that, and it's still relevant. Ortega's been out. He got injured in 22, so
he's been going through some. He's had some other life focuses that have been a distraction as well. He went through he's in the middle of a split. I'm not sure if their divorce is finalized or whatever's going on with what Tracy Cortez was, I believe, his wife's name. Also UFC fighter. The divorce wrecks any dude, and it doesn't keep your mind on what it should. So, I'm sure when he fought Volkanovski about year and a half ago, whenever he fought him, I'm sure his mind was probably not in the correct
21.
place.
He fought Volkanovski in September of 2021.
Yeah,
Mr. Bookwalter, that's
3 years ago. Okay, most split ups don't happen overnight, so I'm just saying he probably had some distractions. And he was fighting one of the featherweight greatest of all times. In Volkanovski at his peak, and he still almost won. Remember everybody points that mounted guillotine, which I still have no idea.
He took Volk 3 years ago to a unanimous decision. So yeah.
So I don't know that. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that fight this week. I know Rodriguez, I believe his last fight was against Volkanovski, I think, where he got finished. Yair Rodriguez is a tough guy. I don't know. Well, I won't give my opinion yet. We'll handicap the card later as to what we think is going to happen. But where is this event being held? In Mexico? I saw the other day the whole card was loaded up with
that's that was the other caveat I was going to get to when we got to. Of course, my internet is being completely stupid.
Well, I believe that Dana White said that they wanted to hold the UFC's first event at the Sphere, which is still really cool. The Sphere on, I think it's
No, they
Mexican.
want to. They're going to do the next Mexican Independence at the Sphere.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So this is a perfect opportunity.
Yeah.
This is a perfect opportunity this weekend for a Mexican star, whether it's Brandon Royval, Brandon Moreno, Yair Rodriguez, or Ortega. This is a chance for somebody to show out and maybe collect a huge payday on a really high profile fight on that card. So
yeah,
I'm expecting a really good card this weekend. I think there should be some really good fights.
At altitude, at a good bit of altitude.
Yeah.
I think 7,000. Yeah, way higher. So that could be an issue for some of these guys. If they're living down there and they're training down there and they're like Mexico City guys and the elevation there, but that elevation's nuts down there. Right, it's a whole different.
I have never played a sport at elevation, so that might be a real thing. It might not be. I don't know.
He did kickboxing in Colorado, and then he had the chance to go do some kickboxing in Mexico, and he said he went down 10 days early to acclimate, and it was still a little weird for him, and he's from the Mile High City. So I think clearly Denver's about a mile high. Mexico City, I think, is like 7,000, so it's a little bit almost a mile. Right. So elevation might play into it, but we will not fuck around, and we will get into. I'll pull this back up. I queued it up.
Okay.
Junior Taffa, did you see that whole thing that transpired last week?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his brother, for those anybody doesn't know that's watching, his brother was supposed to fight, pulled out with an injury.
Justin Taffa.
Justin Taffa was supposed to switch. Justin Taffa, in his own right, has blazed his path, and then Junior came along, but Junior weighed in with 5 minutes left to spare before the cutoff, and fucking leg kicks, man.
Yeah, let's cap the card top to bottom. Let's go to the very, very bottom there.
Well, I'm starting at the bottom and going to the top. That's what we just did. We're already in it.
Wait. No. Lamos and Durden wasn't the first fight. That's what I'm saying right now.
No, I'm going to the featured prelims because
we can go. Now you're.
Oh, you want to go all the way down? Okay.
Yeah.
Surprise! Brandon Maverick.
We were on the way to the casino for that one, so we did not get to see that one. So.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
how was it?
Andrea Lee's been around.
How was it though? Did Miranda Maverick?
I did not catch that one. It was a unanimous decision. I didn't really look into it. I'm trying to get this store project done before. That's where a lot of my time's been the last week. Taxes, we got to do taxes. So, of course, Val Woodburn, Oban Elliott. The cool story about Oban, I've been following him. He was like 14 and messaged Chael, and he's got this connection with Chael. They never met until after he won.
Good for him, man.
They've communicated back and forth. Calls himself the Welsh Gangster. Came through the Contender Series, had a little bit of issues at the beginning of the fight, but pulled it out. So I was happy to see that. I've been a fan of that guy for a little while.
I'll tell you what, Val Woodburn, he's probably going to get one more, I think, but he has to win, or he'll be done. So
yeah, you know what? That was another one that I didn't catch. I want to. Yeah, full fight, 136 total strikes to Woodburn's 30.
Yeah,
I don't know what.
That's an ass whooping. There's no shame in the Bo Nickel loss. No shame. Anybody in the UFC is a great fighter, but he needs to win his next one. Otherwise, he's going to be looking to he's going to be back on the regional scene. So Quinlan and Danny left-hand to God Barlow. I'm impressed with that kid.
I'm so excited to see Danny Barlow's name. You reminded me. I was watching Contender Series when he came through and he had to fight his buddy. And I was like, okay, trying to commit this guy to memory because it's, a guy I did miss on the regional scene. So that's another good thing about Contender Series is you're catching these guys. Maybe you didn't see him on the regional scene and you see him and you got more stuff to watch. But anyways, Danny Barlow pulled it out.
I love the Contender Series. I really do. That's one of my favorite shit. Everybody has an opportunity to impress. this is your spot. This is your spot. And yeah, I remember Danny Barlow knocked the guy out, and who knows? Danny said he broke his arm in the first round, and still did he finish him? Yeah,
TKO.
Right? Yeah, Quinlan also needs a win in his next one, or he's gonna be gone. So yeah, this is one I honestly thought they had it as a coin flip of a fight. I thought the Brazilian looked really good in the weigh-in, real intense and stuff, and I was wrong. I'm wrong a lot, actually.
Yeah, Brenson, at one point right there towards the end when he got down, Brenson, nobody must have known that he ordered that 3-piece dumpling combo, because that shit hit him and he went down. I'm Ming Yang. We're just gonna go Ming Yang before I butcher it too bad. Zhang Ming Yang. Zhang Ming Yang. Say that 5 times fast. He got himself a new fan. I'm excited to see this guy fight now. I'm not going to sit there and watch regional Chinese MMA. I'm not Kaposo on Twitter. I'm not that far down the rabbit hole, but I'll tune in.
Yeah, Nakamura's a beast. I believe also a he was Contender Series as well, I believe.
Yeah. We already covered the Taffa fight, and I disrespected the. Why is it when I don't want to look at the prelims, you want to look at the prelims? And even if I start out on the main card, I'm like, all right, I don't want to piss Bill off. He's already got enough.
Yeah, no, you're
coming out of Facebook jail. It's always, I can't ever please you, Bill. It's all right. I feel like Mark Zuckerberg over here. Mackenzie Dern is a fucking savage. I've been saying this. I was stoked when she came into the UFC. I was stoked when she started doing MMA, period. I got to see her at an event in Florida, and for lack of a better term, just stood there slack-jawed, and it had nothing to do. It was out of pure respect. It wasn't. She was in a gi. It was, you know what I'm saying? It was nuts. So
I'll tell you what,
stood there slack-jawed like a fanboy. But yeah, so I'm a big Mackenzie Dern fan. Her stock goes up with this.
I did not intensely watch the fight, but every time I looked up, I thought Mackenzie Dern was winning. I thought maybe the judges got that one wrong, but I'm also a self-admitted horrible judge, so I'm not good at it.
And again, I don't know. Her striking's improving. Her striking has improved. It's gotten way better.
I'm just curious. How old is she? She looks like 25-ish.
She's mid. I'll look it up quick.
Yes, so she's got some time. Listen, she is attractive as anything. She can fight. The UFC isn't giving up on her after a couple of.
No, she's 30. She made more on the she got paid more on that card than Henry Cejudo did. Oh, so I mean, minimum purses that were handed out by the CSAC numbers, which I do not know. Wholly believe those.
I do not know if Mackenzie Dern. There were images of her backside floating all over the internet. I'm not sure if she has an OnlyFans. I don't know. That's not really my thing, but if she does, go support her. Donate a couple bucks. I'm sure she's going to give you some content that you'll be happy with, single guys.
I don't think she has an OnlyFans. I hope she doesn't have an OnlyFans. I hope it hasn't come to that. Like I said, she did make more than Henry Cejudo.
Yeah,
did.
Well, for single guys, go support her. For married guys, try and do it and hope your wife doesn't find out. No.
I mean, I'll say it in front of my wife, and I'll gladly ask her to give her opinion. But Mackenzie, I posted it today. Mackenzie Dern has the greatest posterior attributes of anybody in the entire UFC, the entire female UFC roster.
She does. It's true. It was a girl named and I know I'll butcher her name. You remember Beth Carrera? Or Beth Carrera?
Yeah.
Beth Carrera?
Well, yeah, that was more of a like start at the bottom and work your way and then kind of stop before you get to the top.
No. We're not going to say that. Everybody's beautiful. If you're a beautiful person, you're beautiful.
Everybody's beautiful, but some beautiful people have butter faces. That's all.
We're not saying that. Come on. She's beautiful.
I just said it. I mean, it's a fact. We're not snowflakes. Sometimes you're ugly.
All right. Well, let's just put it this way.
Not my cup of tea. She's not my cup of tea.
That's fair to say. But no, she would get the win in the cage and start doing her little dance and her rump and num shake.
As a person, and again, she's not.
She did. she did have the title as the best legs and backside, but it is probably internet approved. That now goes to Mackenzie Dern. So
Yeah.
all right, moving on. Oh yeah,
Moving on to Russian
dude,
Chase Hooper, who busted up my parlay early in the night.
Russian Chase Hooper.
Russian Chase Hooper.
That's so accurate. Oh my god,
Russian
that's so
Chase
accurate.
Hooper, and then Chase Hooper is mini or what the hell? Askren, little Askren.
Hey, I was really high up on Kopylov, man, and I still am. He's an entertaining fighter, but man, he got dominated, dude. I did not know Anthony Hernandez was that dominant with,
I mean, I knew he was going to be a problem, but I mean, we covered it when we covered the show. Russian. Let's look at the name. Let's look at the record.
Hernandez is better than I thought.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think he's a little bit underrated.
He definitely sneaky underrated.
Good for him. Kopylov's stock, I think he'll get there. He's still young yet. You know what I'm saying? He's still young in the game, young in the tooth in the UFC anyways. I was so happy to see this.
Listen, Merab. I remember hanging with Merab and Aljamain and Ray Longo at the Tropicana at Ring of Combat when they would be like cornering guys and stuff like that. Before Merab was the Merab that you knew. Okay, I remember the night I was refereeing that night that Dana White showed up. And Dana White was actually there to see somebody else. And Merab knocked out Rafion Stotts, who's now in Bellator, with a spinning back fist, okay? Yes, Merab, the takedown machine, knocked somebody out with a spinning back fist, hopped up on the cage. I'm not like talking put his crotch on the cage. I'm talking did like the balancing, like the balls of his feet on the cage. And he's standing up and flexing, yelling at Dana White. And Dana White was sitting there laughing and clapping. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, I bet you Merab gets something out of this. I was right. Dana White came there to see somebody else, and Merab kind of stole the show. And I love Merab. Lost like 2 early UFC fights, and I guess he just decided that tasted like dick, and he didn't like it. And the guy hasn't lost since.
We just said he quit his job. He quit his job. He concentrated.
What the hell was Merab doing? Like what
construction, landscaping? Like here's the deal. And okay. I watch Anik and Florian every week. It's one of my favorite podcasts. There's only so much MMA media I consume just to keep myself. Christy, we're gonna throw this up. We're a little bit late because I didn't have the comment bar open, but Christy said her ass rivaled Bill's.
I'm dominant. I think I could beat her in a fight, probably.
I mean, I think she'd take you. I think Mackenzie Dern takes you. As long as I can ref it, I don't care. No, Merab came over to the country. Immigrants, immigrant story. Came over to the country, didn't speak no English, was working. I think he was working construction. Bill's nose slapping it up in the middle of the pod.
That's what I do.
No, he quit his job. He started dedicating himself to fighting. And you know what? I feel like Merab is just the Ankalaev of the bantamweight division because, and again, this was another thing going back and forth a lot this week. People thought, you'd have been a fucking champion already if you would have just fought Aljo. Shout out to Merab for being a fucking...
Dude, it all worked out, man. It all worked out.
It took him longer to get there, and I'm more of a fan. I'm more of a fan because he stood up and did that.
No, it was time for Aljamain to move up. It really was, because I think Aljamain was hurting himself pretty bad with these weight cuts. It was time for Sterling to move up. And you know what? Especially if you've made your money as the champ, there is, Ray Longo said it best. He said, I'm glad these guys, he said, Merab, and that's such a quality friendship and a quality brotherhood. They didn't sell out for $100,000.
Yep. I heard him say that.
If I can't hit you full force as hard as I want to in a fight, and that was my problem. Like I said, I think I'm a pretty nice guy. I'm okay sometimes, if I like you as a person or we've shared laughs, I really can't hit you. Yeah, I know it's our job and all that bullshit. Maybe I'll just find somebody else not to like. Maybe I'll just decide to never like the champion in case I fight him. Like, I don't want to hit somebody in the face that I like. And when for anybody who doesn't train or who's never trained, who's interested in the sport, you can be actively involved in this sport. We talked about it. You can walk in at Marquez MMA and train with Sean Brady and Joe Pyfer. You get close to these people and you create bonds with them, and you can't hit them in the face, man. It's for a paycheck. There's some people who value that human relationship more than $100,000. I think I would be one of those people. It was time for Aljamain to move up. He did. I'm glad the story. I think it works out for everybody. You know,
Merab it took him a little longer to get there. His stock's up because of it. So shout out to that. Cejudo, on the other hand,
absolutely not bad. He didn't have a bad showing. You know,
I've just never been a huge. Again, all respect. Anybody that makes the walk, much respect. On top of that, represented our country in the Olympics. Shout out to that. Henry Cejudo's made his mark. He's doing his thing. I've never been a huge Cejudo fan.
Well, you know what? And this goes for both of them. I wish Cejudo and I wish Merab would be more violent. You know, they're positional monsters. Merab is a positional monster. The guy can win fights. Okay, a machine. I wish that when he hit these positions, these dominant positions, I wish he would be more violent, man. I wish he would really turn up the heat. You know, if you're really that much of a machine, you know, and you really got that cardio gas tank, put a beat down on somebody. You know, I think Merab's been to what? I can't remember the last time he finished somebody. It might have been Rafael Stotts.
Well, let's look at it this way. So you talk about overtraining. He did 3 rounds in the back, like full rounds. Ray said this the other day. He did 3 full rounds with Aljo in the back. Now, clearly they weren't going. I mean, they were going pretty hard, Longo said. Yeah. But, you know, I would assume moderately hard. You don't want to expend yourself that much. But, yeah, he went 3 rounds in the back and looked fresh as fuck.
I'll tell you
when that fucking decision was read.
Merab would be a tough guy. Unless you catch him standing, he would be a tough guy to grapple, get an advantageous position, and actually hit him effectively. That would be really, really difficult. You know, so that equates to Merab is going to win a lot of fights. Yeah. I think he ragdolls Sean O'Malley. I could be wrong. I was wrong on the O'Malley-Sterling fight. You know, Sean O'Malley's very good, but I just, you know, Aljamain Sterling was trying to shoot from far away and all kinds of stuff. I think Merab pushes Sean O'Malley up against the cage and does whatever he wants to. Like I
think the best thing for you to do is, and don't get me wrong, Sean O'Malley's dirty boxing and his angles are great. Mm-hmm. So you got to be careful with that. But I don't. It's too early. I want to really watch some. I'm going to watch some stuff back. We got a couple weeks before that drops.
Well, I'll tell you what, we got O'Malley Cheeto Vera coming up. You know, if
and here's the deal: before Merab's got next, so before we say he's going to fight Sean O'Malley,
Vera could win.
I'm not, and this we can circle back a little to Mackenzie Dern with this because going back, Cheeto, I've been watching. Friends with Jason Perillo. I'm acquaintance with Jason Perillo. We're friends on Facebook. I've been watching a lot of his stuff on social, and Cheeto, I just see Cheeto working a lot, man. But the caveat to all that, and we go back to Mackenzie Dern with the striking and whatever, she was working a lot with Jason Perillo, and Ruka got shut down last year, the Ruka Training Center, which was, I don't know if you remember. Do you remember the video with Sean Strickland in Orlando?
Oh, yeah.
That all white. Anytime you've seen that all white training area, that was the Ruka Training Center in Southern California. Strickland, Rockhold, Cheeto, Mackenzie is being trained out of there.
Cheeto's standing in the background at the cage when that whole thing went down.
Yeah. But anyway, so they closed that. So I don't know who Mackenzie's working with. I don't know. I wasn't even paying attention, but I don't think Jason was in her corner. And again, sometimes you see guys come out and you don't know who's cornering them. So hard to say. I do circle back to Mackenzie. I do think she needs to. I think if she can tighten up her striking just a little bit, and honestly, I think a trip to Thailand. I think a trip to Thailand would help her a lot.
Do me a favor. Hold on a second. Who am I? And I know I'm going to butcher this. Where Cheeto Vera? He is from Venezuela, or where is he from?
El Salvador. Hold on.
Okay, and
maybe hold on.
My geography is terrible.
Yeah, I don't. He's from a South American country, Ecuador.
Ecuador. Okay. If Chito Vera was able to beat Sean O'Malley again, he did beat him one time. I would look for Merab and Chito Vera to be on that card as the Sphere. That is an easily sellable fight. Merab versus Sean O'Malley is a sellable fight, you know. But
yeah, I think that's September is that Mexican Independence Day card.
No, I think it's. I could be wrong. I'm wrong a lot. I self-admit wrong. That's Google. Way early. That's way earlier in the year. When is Mexican Independence Day? I thought that was like way before September.
September 16th, there, bud.
Jesus, well, I'm wrong a lot. I just.
You are actually wrong a lot.
Yeah, once you admit that you're wrong a lot, people really don't have anywhere to go with. I bet Christie stuff all the time that I'm sure of, and I think I'm like maybe 1 for 10.
Jeff Neal, Ian Machado, Gary.
That dude. Okay, he won. He did win the fight. I'm not the only one who thinks this. On social media, as a fan, that was a very, very mild, like.
I wasn't. Oh yeah.
He won the fight.
I thought you were going to call him a cuck, and I'm like, well, hold on. I was ready to fucking address that real quick.
I don't know what his personal business is.
I mean, the majority of the shit with this guy is, you have multiple things. You have the moving camp to camp. You have the camera crew. You have his wife and his kid with him. At the end of the day, I give fuck all about that. And honestly, as a young guy with a kid doing what he's doing, with the ability to do what he's doing, fuck it. Here's the deal. He just had to find the right fit, and I think he might have found the right fit. And I'm not saying he's going to stay at Shoot Box. I'm not saying that. But he definitely seems at home there.
Listen, he won the fight, but he also avoided the fight. If that makes sense. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, there was definitely I think Neil brought a little bit more than he thought, and he was trying to adjust on the fly a little bit.
He definitely.
The kid's unbeaten for a reason.
Yeah, he's great. He's good at winning fights. He definitely did not try and hurt Neil or put him away. That wasn't his game plan, which fine. We're talking, what is Neil ranked? 8. We're talking the elite fighters in the world. But man, I just wish for all that shit talk and for everything he faced online and for all that.
And they sold for what it's worth. He sold the fight. It was nothing but respect the whole week. He had his kid in his arm. They're talking in the lobby, much like we saw with Strickland and Duplessis. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's a bit of selling the fight.
Yeah.
The mug shot thing, you're poking a guy when he's at his lowest. That was kind of Again, you don't have to like everything somebody does to call yourself a fan of him. I'm a fan of Ian Gary. I want to see what he can do. He's found himself a home. I think he's settled now. We'll see.
Everybody at that level has a lackluster fight at some point. I hope the next fight he brings it a little bit more for the fans' enjoyment.
80-57. I mean, he outstruck him.
He did.
Significant strike, 67-46.
He won, but he definitely did not put himself at any risk at any point during that fight.
No, he didn't overextend himself at all. Bobby fucking Knuckles. Also, do we not have a picture? UFC. Bill gets pissed off when you have guys signed to contracts and you don't even have their fucking picture. But guess what?
Dude, that could be a ref rant all on its own. My God, you're a $10 billion corporation. You have a guy booked a fight and you can't get a picture of him on your fucking website? Are you shitting me? That's insane. But anyway, I digress. We move on. Paulo Costa. Robert Whittaker.
Looked fucking good.
He did. Okay. Let me ask you something, though. As a fan, when I'm looking at this, does Paulo Costa have takedowns? Does Paulo Costa have takedowns?
Here's the deal. I'm not saying the guy hasn't pulled out of more fights than I've pulled out of women, but no.
Does Paulo Costa have takedowns?
I don't know. I can't. In my head, you're asking me this, and I can't.
Okay, that's fine. Just keep that answer at that. Does Paulo Costa have ground and pound?
I think there's the potential for it.
Okay, that's fine. We'll stop there. Does Paulo Costa have submissions?
Again, I can't.
Okay. Does Paulo Costa have knockout power?
Yes.
Who'd he knock out?
I feel like.
Okay, no. That's enough said. What the fuck is it exactly that he does?
Well, first of all, I feel like, let's be honest, and we'd be remiss to say that if we didn't say this, the bell saved. I mean, Bobby came back. But
okay, he does have spinning arsenal. But other than that, I don't know what the fuck Paulo Costa does besides hit on girls for the remaining hairline that he has left. That is fading him, by the way. His hairline.
You know what? You saw that post. I think he needs to get with Merab's hair guy, because the greatest comeback in history was never in the octagon. It was Merab's fucking hairline, bro.
I'll tell you, Paulo Costa, he is a beautiful man. I mean, that guy's chiseled. As he progresses over the next few years, that hairline is going to betray him. He's a ladies' man.
No, he's not. I don't think the hairline's. I think he's gonna start doing the Trump, and he's gonna have to hit the comb over.
Listen, there was something online today that I read. I guess during the weigh-ins, he went over and shook the ring card girl's hands, and he posted on Twitter. I think he did anyway. God knows, it's the internet. Who the fuck knows what's real and what's not? But he went over to the girls, shook their hands, and he was like, posted on X, that he was like, everybody thinks I was doing greetings. I was just shaking their hands to make their boobs bounce. Paulo Costa is a ladies' man. He is, I'm sure he was trying to hit on those ring card girls all night after the shit or whatever, He is a chiseled god, but I don't know what the fuck it is he does as far as fighting. He doesn't grapple. He doesn't ground and pound. He doesn't submit. He doesn't, there's no Chuck Lee Iceman Liddell type knockouts. Like, what is it that he does? He is a physical specimen, and he is one of the best fighters in the world when it comes to cardio. Yes,
when he actually fights, let's look at who he's got. He's got a decision. He took Vettori to a decision.
Nah, Vittori's way overrated. Way overrated.
Yeah,
he's durable.
Vittori's also 13-1. Yeah, he's durable, and he's a little bit of a journeyman, but
he gets out there and jabs. Vettori is another one. No submissions, no power, no grappling.
He survived 3 rounds with Yoel Romero, who's a scary, scary individual, and a definite, most 100% product of the Russian, Cuban fucking. KO Uriah Hall.
Okay, here's the thing. When was that fight against Yoel Romero? What year?
2019. So not super scary Yoel Romero, but like quasi scary Yoel Romero.
Here's what I'm saying. In 2019, he beat Yoel Romero. We are heading towards 2025. He has won one fight. One fucking fight.
I understand this, but let's look at the depth. We're not talking recency here. We're talking depth of resume. I mean, 2017 TKO Johnny Hendricks, again, past prime Johnny Hendricks. Johnny Hendricks he was a flash in the pan, but it's still Johnny Hendricks. Let me go back to the first. I said depth of resume, and we're going back here. But I mean, the guy's been a pro since 2012.
No, I
know. And again, this is the depth of resume. Let's look at 2012. We're not saying he's not in the twilight of his fucking career here, but 4, 5, 6, dropped 1 out of his first 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 4, dropped 1 out of his first 14. Christy Uber. Brent's in.
Hey, what's up, Brent?
The Mannheim hater.
Listen, I've had 2 wins in 28 days. This guy's had 1 win in 4 years, 5 years. Like,
listen, calm down, Kamzat. Calm down, Kamzat. We know about your 2 wins, but let's put it this way. I watched you fight when you were pretty much, I'd say, in your prime. Even though you started MMA past your prime, that's not a dig on you. But age-wise, you came in the game kind of late. No, you came in the game late.
What are you talking about?
Huh?
I'm peaking.
Okay, right. Well, you're doing something all right. I'm more scared of Yoel Romero in fucking 2019 than I was at Bill Bookwalter in his prime. So
how do you? No, dead ass. There's guys in the UFC that fight 2, 3, 4 times a year. How have you won 1 fight in 4 years and you're ranked number 6 in the world? That doesn't even fucking make sense.
Well, and if you look at who the losses were, it ain't like he's fighting trash cans either. He was fighting upper echelon guys. So he stayed there since he came in 14-3. we get it. You don't like Paulo Costa. We move
No.
on to Ilia Topuria, everybody's favorite Spaniard / Georgian.
That guy's good, man.
Topuria
is good.
Who his last fight had the post-fight done with a translator, and as soon as he won the championship, has not used a translator since. I just want to point that out.
Yeah, some people are bullshitting.
The fifth and the Mannheim. I forgot to take the Mannheim hater off. We just left it up there.
Topuria
caught him. It's not. You can't. The guy's been on a fucking tear. He's unbeaten for a reason. Volk, I said earlier, was exiting. He was exiting out of the exchanges with his head up a little bit. Got too close to the cage. Didn't circle out. Got chinned.
You remember there was a time where Ilia Topuria and Paddy Pimblett were both brand new and getting into scuffles in hotels, and Paddy Pimblett was calling him hand sanitizer boy and was calling Ilia out for the fight. You remember there was a time where people thought Paddy Pimblett and Ilia Topuria were on the same level.
No, Paddy Pimblett's not there yet. I like Paddy, but Paddy's not there yet. So
he's entertaining. He is, but like Ilia Topuria is very good, man. I knew he was good. I didn't know he was this good. And how? Do me a favor. How old's Ilia? Just click on that little profile. See if it says his age.
I'll just look it.
Is he like 26?
Something. 27.
Oh Jesus! And you're this good already?
He's going to be a problem for a little while.
Dude, he's going to be hard to beat, man. Dude, Josh Emmett is a stud. Josh Emmett is like crazy stud. Ilia Topuria beat the fuck out of him.
Yeah, I was again, I was like, I don't want to say an Ilia Topuria. I was aware of Ilia. You know what I'm saying? I was aware of Topuria. I can appreciate what he did. I like watching him fight, but I was never like, oh, I don't want to. Oh, if he main carded at the point a little bit ago, like a fight night card, I might not have tuned in.
Listen, I'll sidetrack.
Seeing how he's handled everything this week, and honestly, for me, because it's all about respect at the end of it, no matter what the shenanigans are. Sometimes people step over the line. Sometimes it's too much. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait.
He stood toe-to-toe next to Volk, who is one of the greatest of all time at featherweight, and said, I respect you. I respect who you are. I respect what you've done, but I'm here for my dream. And you can't.
And here's the thing. He lost all 3 rounds on he lost the first round on all 3 judges' cards.
Yeah.
And he still decided to go after Volk. Like, it was crazy. And
well, some guys are slow. I can't.
No, that's fine. But I'm just saying, he didn't there's a lot of guys where if the fight doesn't go the way they envisioned immediately, they're just like, man, tonight's not my night.
Well, that's part of that championship mentality, and that's what makes that's the difference. That's the difference in levels, because much like Mackenzie Dern, even though she was getting the shit beat out of her, she stayed composed and she fucking worked her game, and that's why she was able to maintain as close of a fight as she was. Same thing with Ilia. He's got a little bit off course, maintained his game. Maybe he expected that. Maybe he wanted to get some looks. Maybe you don't know. But end of the day.
We won't. You know who else reminds me of Ilia? We won't sidetrack too much. We'll cover it when it's time. But that Benoit Saint Denis guy, is he as good as I think he is? I don't know. He's fighting a really good guy, Dustin Poirier, coming up. We'll discuss that when it's coming up. But like, there's a couple guys.
Just remember the last time you had some like European Special Forces guy in there, it was Mirko Krokop, and he actually killed people outside of the cage. So. I would be willing to bet that Benoit Saint Denis taking a life.
I would imagine Saint Denis. No joke. I would imagine he'll never talk about it. I would imagine Saint Denis, as part of the special forces, has probably ended a life at some point along the way.
Rogan said this one time. He did say that he was talking about Mirko Krokop, but it translates to Saint Denis. And you stand there and you look at this guy, and you being across the cage from him. I don't care. You hear a bunch of multiple guys. Cowboy talked about the nerves, and you're standing across the cage from a guy that has actually killed someone and is performing at peak optimization here. But
well, that would be the thing. If you actually stuck me in a wartime situation where people were trying to kill me and it was me or them, and I've faced that kind of pressure before, if you stick me in a cage for a cage fight, I'm going to walk out of here alive, guaranteed. I'm not scared of this. This doesn't make me nervous at all. Like, that's a dangerous guy to fight, a guy that has talent and isn't nervous about getting in there and fighting. Me, unfortunately, in the back, every time before I fought, I was ready to vomit into a trash can. It was the worst. I had anxiety just all over the fucking place, you know? So these special forces fucking killers, they're a different fucking breed. But like I said, I didn't want to sidetrack too much. We'll discuss that when it comes up. But yeah, Taporia is really fucking good, man. That guy might be on top for a little while.
I don't excuse me. I don't see I'd be real anxious to see the path they're going to put him on here, especially with like what we're going to talk about here.
Well, listen, here's the thing. Before we I don't want to see a Volkanovski Topuria rematch right now. Let Volkanovski win a fight.
Yeah.
You're 0-3 in your last 3. You've been finished twice. Like, you don't just get a rematch at a title. Much like Israel Adesanya didn't get a rematch right away. Because, man, you got to do something to show you're supposed to be at the best in the world. If you are, beat the next up-and-coming guy and get your rematch. I don't want to see Volkanovski Topuria again. That was too dominant by Topuria.
Yeah.
He just came out and took what he wanted.
I've heard a lot of talk this week of Bill said, or wait, he said it's like living in Lancaster. I don't know what he's talking about. We say so much shit. It's hard to keep up.
It probably refers to people getting killed or not being scared of, or like third world country wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I live in Lancaster, man. I'm not scared of shit, bro. Like, I've had my car stolen in Philly. I hear gunshots down the road. Cage fight, man. That ain't shit.
Yeah. There's been a lot of talk about Volk going to 55, but I don't.
No, they would murder him up there.
Yeah, I don't think he. They
would beat his ass. All right, so what do we got here? We got
we got a bunch of people you've never heard of.
The Mexico card.
Yeah, Fight Night in Mexico.
No, I remember Manuel Torres, but he was like a WEC guy from way back when. It's not this Manuel Torres.
Different Manuel Torres.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Duncan trains over there with what the hell is his name?
Well, hold on. There's more. Scroll up, man. Let's start from the bottom up.
Well, okay, then scroll down.
Okay, we could be looking at a future champion here. We don't even know it. I remember the old Eric Silva. This is the new Eric Silva.
Yeah, this is the new Eric Silva. The old Eric Silva we talked about had that banger with Matt Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Again, I haven't, with everything going on this week, I haven't even covered most of these guys. So
yeah,
I'm just.
I'll tell you what. You do not see Muhammad. Scroll back down for me, please. Muhammad Naimov, Tajikistan. You don't really see that's not a country you've seen thrown up there too often. So
no,
he must have something going on. Yeah, I'll admit I don't know some of these guys.
Yeah, see, and that's why you're all trying to go down here into the depths of the fucking Mexico City card, and I don't know who any of these guys are, and I haven't been paying attention enough to know.
I will tell you what, I'm seeing every single one of these last names, and I do not think there is going to be much wrestling. A lot of Brazilian jiu-jitsu, a lot of stand-up. There will not be much wrestling.
Don't get mad at the UFC. That is something with my computer not loading. I don't.
Wait a second. Now, scroll up one thing. Let me see something. I think you just passed something. Click on Jesus Aguilar. Dude, I'm honestly forgetting. Scroll down. Do me a favor. Scroll. Yeah, let's look at
2 fights in the UFC.
Did I referee that guy in the UFC? I can't remember.
No. His first fight in the UFC was 2023.
Okay. I didn't. I'm thinking somebody else. Yeah, I can't remember who the hell it was. I thought it was it was an Aguilar, but it wasn't that one. Christian Ronnie Barcelos. How do I know that name? No picture. Damn you, UFC. Yeah, that guy's built. He's been around for a while, hasn't he? What's his record in the UFC? What's his record in the UFC?
Excuse me.
I've definitely seen him before.
He's 17-5. I don't know. That's his overall. He just fought Kyler Phillips. He had back-to-back losses to Phillips and Mini Nurmagomedov.
I probably remember watching him fight Nurmagomedov. Yeah, see, he's been around for a while. Back to what?
Fought 2 Nurmagomedovs. Chris Gutierrez.
Yeah, Chris Gutierrez. Yeah, so that guy hasn't had a short 3-and-out career in the UFC. He's been around for a minute.
Yeah, he's been around.
Okay, who else we got, man? What else we got? Let's get to the main card. And I know that
I'm so glad we ventured down to the prelims for Bill to tell me he doesn't know anybody, which is why I wanted to start here in the first place.
Okay.
Manuel Torres, Chris Duncan.
Okay.
I'm going to pull for the Scottish guy on this one just because I think I like the fact that you got more and more guys coming out of these countries. And I also like the fact that, did you see what they did in Georgia for Merab and Ilya?
No.
Like these, I don't know who was responsible for it, but they were projecting the fucking fight out in like town squares on the sides of buildings, massive projections, hundreds of people standing out there watching these fights. Like the whole country gets behind these fighters that are, there's 2 or 3 guys that make it to the UFC. I think Ilya is the fifth guy from Spain, and he still has mad love in Georgia. And these countries, these small little pockets in Europe and stuff, they get behind these guys.
They show out, huh? They show out.
It's great. I like to see it. It's cool. Sam Hughes, I'm not even gonna.
Raul Rosas.
Yeah, I think
he is a future star. He is.
Actually, you know what? Now we are going to go back real quick to this Manuel Torres and Duncan, because I actually was watching some of his and I wrote some notes down.
Okay.
Torres had an amazing elbow KO. And I can't think of who it was at the time, but that's the clip I saw, and I was like, okay, he's coming up. But Duncan's wrestling's getting better. He's got to get inside that range and see. Manuel Torres has a lot of tools. I just wrote it down in my notes. He does have a lot of tools from the film I was watching. So, I think as much as I just said I wasn't going to go for Duncan, I forgot I had that in my show notes because I forgot I was writing show notes and then got sidetracked. But yeah, I'm going to say that from what I've seen, because this is another one I did watch, Tercios, he gives up a lot of takedowns.
He will try and keep that fight standing at all costs.
For sure. I think Rosas needs to just get him to the ground and take him down, and I think that's going to be the game plan.
Okay.
But yeah, I was doing show notes earlier, and I was like, oh, you know what? Fuck it. I only did 2. Zellhuber and Prado. I feel Zellhuber's been around for a minute.
Yes. Yeah, I recognize the name.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember who.
Lando Venata, yeah.
Yeah, okay, it was Lando Venata fight because that was the last time Lando fought.
Trey Ogden or some shit like that.
Yeah, he's. I forget who else he fought for, but you can't. The name Zellhuber, I've just watched him fight. I remember hearing it on commentary, but it wasn't in the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
So hard to say with that one. This is what I'm most excited about, honestly, is this fight. Ortega, as we talked about earlier. Ortega coming off, a 2-year injury with a shoulder. The last time they fought, he got the shoulder injury, so this is a rematch of that. So I'm pulling for T-City on this one. I want to see him come back. Yair's trying to get back to the top of the mountain.
That is a coin flip. Do not bet that one, boys or girls. No matter what you bet, you will be on the wrong side of it.
Featherweight's getting exciting again. And these guys fought again. Royval was injured. This is Moreno Royval 2. The last time they fought, he was injured. So,
listen, Moreno and Alexandra Pantoja are by far the class of that division, and Royval is truly the third best guy. And if it were not for Mr. and Mrs. Moreno producing a baby 25 years ago, and Mr. and Mrs. Pantoja producing a baby, Brandon Royval would be champion. He's just a step behind those two. It's like those 3 and everybody else in that division. That's why Royval keeps getting these shots at Moreno and Pantoja. He is clearly third best. Yeah, but he is definitely behind these two.
I mean, yeah, he definitely hung with Pantoja the last time they fought. I I can't
He
remember
did.
anything
It was.
I can't remember it. It was a little lackluster, I think, for a title fight. Then
I
again,
mean, he doesn't have a lot of power. He doesn't have a lot of wrestling. He doesn't have, at least not against. Do me a favor. Did he did he get hurt versus Moreno? Did it go to decision or?
Yeah, no, I think no, maybe it did go to decision, but there was the injury. I don't know. Wait, it was a doctor's. No, it was. Where's that? It was a while ago. I thought it was after that. 4:59 in round one. I think it was. He got TKO'd because of the injury. I just remember the injury being prevalent in that.
Listen, Brandon Moreno and Alexander Pantoja, that's always a coin flip. I think Pantoja is a slight bit better, but I mean, it's a competitive fight.
They've already fought twice, so that would be a trilogy.
They're both ahead of Brandon Royval, and I mean Brandon Royval is a good story. Unfortunately, his brothers are in prison, and all he wants to do is make them proud, and he wants them to be able to watch him fight and come back and tell him he won a world title, and he's just a step behind those two, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I mean, who's to say if he can't keep it up and he's still got his age? You know what I'm saying? Who's to say that these guys just because at the end of the day, this is Moreno's second trip around, and he's making the fucking best of it. Yeah.
Now, listen. I will not be betting this fight, but I'm pulling for Royval. Moreno's had his time. I'm pulling for Brandon Royval. I hope he gets the win, but I don't see it happen.
I'll put my picks out tomorrow. I don't know where I want to go with a couple things yet. I want to watch a couple more things, probably late night tonight. I went on like a 6-hour Ultimate Texas Hold'em poker run last night. and that's why I don't have show notes done because stuff happened during the day, so I pushed it to the night, and then I went on that 6-hour run. And
you play online?
Yeah.
I like Texas Hold'em too. I'm not good at it. But
no, Ultimate Texas Hold'em.
You'll have to get with me offline and tell me I'm listening.
Yeah, we're gonna have a little post show meeting, but yeah, no, it's if you like the heads up aspect of Texas Hold'em. Shout out to No Slap. If you like the heads up aspect of Texas Hold'em, it's probably one of my favorite games, and I've lost several $100s in the last couple of weeks. So I want a bit of a skid, but that happens. That happens. We just keep on coming back.
Christy, I love you. I believe I said I was done with sports gambling. I believe I specifically said sports gambling. I didn't say I was done with poker.
This is more of a problem than the sports gambling, bro, because I had to stop. I had to stop with running parlays, 2 or 3 different. I'd run one parlay, and then I'd be like, I don't really know how I'm feeling about this.
I can bet $1 a game to get my fix. It's like a.
I also never get the best odds because I won't throw a parlay out until weigh-ins. If I can catch some good numbers when they drop a fight or when it's first announced in the book, I'll throw a couple bucks on it. When I say a couple bucks, I mean like some $5 bonus bets or a couple bucks. But this Ultimate Texas Hold'em, it's $20-$30 at a clip. It's slowly adding up.
I wish I was better at poker, like I do. But anyway, I don't want to move away from mixed martial arts, but I do love me some poker too. Maybe you and I can meet up sometime at a casino around the way and play like a lunchtime tournament or some shit. I got your buy-in, man. We're good. If you win, we split. All right.
Bill's awfully generous when he's had a couple beers. I want everybody in Fight Show Nation to he gets awfully generous. He's already promised supplements. A shirt showed up in my house the other week. He's not allowed to online shop after he's been drinking.
I'm not even allowed to go to the grocery store by myself because stuff gets crazy. And the homeless people in Philly got me for $40. At least I'm assuming they were homeless. I don't know. I thought I was just tipping the guy for taking my picture next to the Rocky statue, and somehow I walked out of there $40 poorer. So, but anyway, let's. Yes, I get generous when I start having.
Before we move into the ref rant, we just want to remind everybody out there to support the people that support us, so we can help support the fighters. About the end of the day, because that's what all this money goes to that we get off this. Yep. Bill's got it right there. No Slap. You see the thing scrolling at the bottom, noslap.com. Code FightShow for 20% off Been using it for a week, Bill. What's the you're a swing shifter. You got to do the overnight shift this week. What's your thoughts on nose slap after using it consistently for a week?
Shout out to Garrett for telling me before the show how to rejuvenate a stick that I was ready to throw away. You add a drop of water and you get like apparently a crap ton more uses out of it.
Yeah, this one's from we cracked this on the show last week. This is the same tube. I'm still using it. I've used it a couple times. The wife even said bring it down the other night. She was doing a little late night stuff in her office, and she said,
my coworkers have used it. For anybody that doesn't know me, I like going to my local gym, sitting in the steam room. Different than the sauna because they pump eucalyptus. This thing is packed full of eucalyptus and peppermint.
No, it's just peppermint, no eucalyptus. But anyways, carry on.
Oh, it clears me out. You like eucalyptus. Okay, well, are you sure? I'm going to have to read the instructions. Or I'm gonna
always read the instructions, Bill. But no, noslap.com, code FightShow, 20% off. It is a mix of smelling salts, which you have seen probably on your favorite podcast. Rogan's all about them. A bunch of lifters are about them. It's got so many use cases: nighttime driving, sleepy driving, first thing in the morning, pre-workout, before your shift, after your shift, anytime that you might consider drinking a Monster because you're dragging your ass.
Anyway,
no slaps got you covered.
This hits me and clears me out. Like it's a very eucalyptus, Halls menthol type. It's good. I really, really do enjoy it.
This one I did like 25, 30 minutes ago.
I'm anxious. Hey, I'm anxious to use Soul Slap.
Ooh.
That's gonna put me on my ass. I like it though. So
yeah, we're gonna do Soul Slap. Save the Soul Slap for next week. We said we were gonna do it this week. Save it for next week.
Okay.
But like I said, guys, you can go to noslap.com, code FightShow for 20% off your order. We endorse it. We use it. We're not telling you guys about shit unless we use it.
Shout out for telling me how to extend the life of the stick. I like it.
Yeah, it's cool. Like I said, guys, I don't have a price point in front of me, but yeah, we cracked these last week on Thursday night on the show. That stick's still good.
I like it. So shout out to any pull no punches candidates, no slap, anybody that supports this thing.
Yeah, man. If we're telling you guys about stuff, we use it, we like it. Canadips.com, code FightShow for 20% off as well. If you want to check them out, CBD dip pouches, nicotine free, the best dip alternative. And of course, been with us since day one. Pulling-Punches-Apparel.com. Go visit them for a wide selection of tanks, tees, hoodies, beanies, flannels, koozies, and more. And I promise you will enjoy the quality of their merchandise. Shout out to them. Next week's show, Saturday show, Bill works next Thursday. So next Saturday, we will be doing Soul Slap live on the internet.
Oh, wait. Hold on. No, I'm on my 3 overnights. I am off next Thursday night, bro.
Well, yeah, you just work. Hold up. You know what? Because I'm not getting blamed for this shit. Co-executive producer of Bookwalter Enterprises tells us Bill works next Thursday night.
Oh, I signed overtime. Wait, no, I don't. I'll get with you offline. Let's not.
How do you sign overtime? You took overtime.
No, I don't know what the hell I did, to be honest with you. Like, I don't know what I did. No, if I'm on my Saturday, Sunday, Monday overnight, I'm supposed to be off Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then I work Friday daylight. I'll get with you offline. We will put out.
We're going to hang around after the show and talk about a couple things. So shout out to those that support us so we can support the fighters. Again, I know we've been talking about it. People have been asking about it. Merch is coming. We promise. I don't know what yet. We haven't locked anything down. We're in the design phase. We partnered with a company that's awesome and definitely for the fighters, so we can't wait to share that with you guys. Some other stuff coming down the pipe, and a couple people had mentioned in the comments about where we stream the show. I'm looking into right now expanding the reach of the show. Right now we stream to three different locations. You can find us live and interactive on Facebook and YouTube, and then I stream over to my LinkedIn page. You can check out my social stuff for all the links, but no, we're looking for Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play Podcasts. We're more of a visual podcast, so some of it might not correlate. But if you're at work and you can't watch and you want to listen, we're usually pretty graphic about it. So with that being said, we will get into this week's edition of the Ref Rant, brought to you by Nose Slap. And if we haven't said it for 56 times this episode, you can go to noslap.com, code FightShow for 20% off your order. And I will bring up Mr. Bookwalter here as soon as, and I don't know why this always does this, and I have issues, and people don't want to see me. They want to see Bill. It's the ref rant, guys. Come on. And there we go again.
I'm not super mad about anything this week, but I have noticed a little bit of chat in the group forums, okay? Everything is, Volk deserves a rematch because of, everything that's transpired, and he was a dominant champion for so long, okay? Oh, this guy deserves a title shot. Izzy deserves a rematch for whatever. Oh, well, this champion was champion for so long, and he deserves a rematch. No, you deserve to fight for the title if you are the best guy in the world. Okay? When you have lost your last 3 fights, 2 of them you were finished. You don't deserve a rematch because of what you did 4 or 5 years ago. There are always new up-and-comers, and you know what? Volkanovski, he's wealthy. He is. He's a multimillionaire. He's made his money. You don't just automatically deserve to hold all these other guys up who want your life and who are out there proving that they're out there, they want this title shot, and they have to wait another year because you were dominant 3 or 4 years ago. You don't just deserve a rematch, whether you're Israel Adesanya, whether you're Kamaru Usman, whether you're Alexander Volkanovski, whether you're Max Holloway. You don't just deserve a rematch because you did some shit, okay? If you don't look like one of the best fighters in the world, or you're not competing at a world-class level, I do not want to see Alexander Volkanovski and Ilia Topuria again. I want to see a new guy who's been out there winning fights, knocking people out, submitting people, just dominant performances. I want to see Ilia Topuria and that guy fight. The title fights are for if you are the best fighter in the world. They're not to pay homage to some shit you did a couple years back, okay? Now, I'm not saying Alexander Volkanovski is washed and he can never win another fight, but show me you're still that guy. Drop down and fight the number 3 or 4 guy in the world, finish him dominantly, and say, I'm still the best fucking one, I'm still the best fucking featherweight in the fucking world. And I showed you I deserve my rematch. You don't get your rematch for some shit you did 3 or 4 years ago. I don't want to see a guy who's 0-3 in his last 3 fighting for a title. 0-3 in your last 3 isn't the same as a guy who's 3-0 in his last 3 and trying to come up, Now, if you want to take Volkanovski and match him against that guy who wants his title shot, so be it. But this whole concept of mixed martial arts forums that we all talk on and comment on and talk and discuss, you don't just get a title shot or a rematch in a fight that, man, that guy, Topuria Dustin, he was going to find your chin at some point during that fight. You won the first round, and he was still coming after you. He wasn't going to lose that night. If I were to put DraftKings odds on Ilia Topuria Volkanovski match, we're probably putting Topuria at -400. I mean, a dominant favorite. What's Volkanovski going to do? Is he going to take him down? Is he going to grapple him? Is he going to ground and pound him? Is he going to submit him? No. He's going to try and win a decision where he jabs and stays away and doesn't overcommit so he doesn't get caught like he did last time. And it's still not going to happen. Topuria is levels above. He would dust him. So to all of my little mixed martial arts people out there talking in the forums and stuff, no. You don't just get an automatic rematch because you were dominant. Now, if it was a split decision win and it went Topuria's way and you were super competitive and you had your moments in the fight, okay, sure, run it back. You got dusted, man. They said you were old. You kind of looked a little bit old, and you got finished easier than I've ever seen you get finished before in your life. No, Volkanovski's got to earn that rematch back. And you know what? I don't really think he could probably beat the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th ranked fighters in the world. So that's my ref rant for this week. Don't keep other fighters stagnant because of something. It might not be Volkanovski's time anymore, And that's it, man. That's my ref rant.
For somebody that wasn't that pissed off, you waxed poetic for about 4 minutes there, bud. No.
I was ranting. I don't want to see Volkanovski and Topuria again. Not right now. Not right
number one, his next fight should probably be a number one contender fight. Let him come. He has earned it. He stepped up for the company multiple times.
Yeah, show me you're still the best in the world. Show me the third and fourth ranked fighters aren't on your level. Show me that. And then, okay, you get back in there. But just to grant him a rematch after his last 3 losses, like, you don't, in this modern day, you don't get a title fight when you're 0 for 3 in your last 3. And you've been finished twice. You don't just get a title fight. Doesn't even make sense.
Nope.
Anyway, I hope that's the way it shakes out. So, and you know what? Dana White is very, very super smart. Whoever Taporia fights next, it's not going to be Volkanovski. Dana knows what he's doing. We've discussed that on the show before.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a rant, huh?
Yeah.
No slap.
You're leaving it open for too long. We've already discussed this off air. You're just, that's why your shit's fucked. That's why I got to tell you how to fix it, because you're just not listening to nobody.
It's not fucked. I like the full hit.
Well, yeah, the in and out, in and out. I mean, when the guy that invented it is on the show and he tells you you're holding it open for too long, then I say you're fucking holding it open for too long.
Hold on, wait. I'll do the Bradley Martin. I'm 260, bro. I'm 260. I need the full hit. Oh, man, that's good stuff. I like it.
Yeah, see, you got to do more like a boom, and then be done with it. You're just over here wafting it in the fucking air like you're saging your fucking house for demons. All right, guys, we will figure out when we're going to be there. Just look for the post. You'll see it. Fight Show episode 23. We'll be back next week, either Thursday or Saturday. When Bill figures out his life, I'll let you guys know, because he'll let me know. Appreciate you guys stopping in. Be sure to check out everybody that supports us so we can support the fighters. Fight Show episode 23. We're out.